following is a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 1.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the continuation of the Jackpot June T4 tournament in the 2025 MRE UNO. Today we are getting ready in the Diamond region with a classic 8v9 seed, and in the realm of the gambling casino arena, you gotta have skill, you gotta have cunning, but you also have to have that animal instinct. And we've got two individuals today that are looking to do just that. On one side, we've got the wolf with Clay. He's on the hunt, he's on the prowl, but on the other side, the farmer has sent out something that's even better than a watchdog when it comes to protecting the sheep in the flock. It's the llama with Cody. It's going to be a good one here this afternoon, as pretty much coming into this T4, both of these individuals are coming in with nothing to lose and everything to gain as we go down to the tail of the tape. And look at the difference here, or should I say the similarities really, coming into this one after the first three tournaments of 2025. Clay had a great run back in T1. Cody got his first win after a long winless streak back in T3. But they've both been on a bit of a struggle, and both as well in terms of the numbers 1 year ago here in T4. As you can see, both weren't able to get out of the top 25. If you look, starting with Clay, at his path so far here to T4, made it up all the way to the round of 16 before losing in a best of 9 in March Madness to Lane. Aquatic April made it to the round of 32, did the same in Movie May, but was eliminated very early on, was not able to advance to the round of 16 in either of those. On the other side, for Cody Llamas, we mentioned about the fact that last tournament in Movie May, he was able to advance for the first time into the round of 32, but then got eliminated by Toasty, was not able to advance out of the round of 64 back in T1 or T2. Both of these individuals coming into this one definitely seem to be playing with house money, and that's just going to make today's matchup all the more intriguing. Winner of this one, interestingly enough, somebody ended up posting that it seems like the Diamond region is the animal region, because Wolf or Llamas are going to move on to face Monkey, who with that number 1 seed got the bye. And then of course on Monday we'll be finding out the victor between Vapor and Jenna. The winner of that will go on to face Acosta, who was able to take Andreas Allen in a 4-2 victory. This is one of two games that are going to be streamed here this afternoon. Later on at 4:30, we are going to have myself taking on Hockey, and then later on this evening, you've got William Brock taking on Retro and Abion taking on M. All 4 suits represented in terms of the regions here this afternoon. But let's take it down to the table here. Myself alongside of KT. And KT, as I said, I feel like for both of these guys here, we're playing with house money. And when your back's up against the wall and you got nowhere to go but forward, the path for these two has been so similar here in 2025. Somebody said before we came on the air here, this might be the matchup of the entire round of 64. It could very well be.
Could be. These guys know each other. They should have theoretically could have been playing in Super League together 2 years ago. I spiced it up as the Super League what if game because Monkey. I think Monkey said that might be the game in round, but Clay and Llamas were both in the debate stage 2 years ago, back when it was more 10 people exclusive of Super League, and Cody, he found a way to get in because of just consistency. But times have changed now. A lot of things have changed, and I think the respect is there. I've literally talked to Clay. I know him in person. He's one of those guys I've met in real life, and he has a lot of respect for Cody. And Cody I've never met in real life, but man, we go way back, man. It almost feels like a brother from another. So this is a tough game. Both guys, I think, know that. Sure, season's on the line, but a lot can be said about both guys because these guys are just very used to the old school game of Uno in a sense. They both have been here for a while. They've seen every trick in the book. Now, sure, it may not be the best trick in the book at the current moment, not having the wins. However, we've seen so many people at 0 or 1 win turn up all season. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another turn up today, but should be a fun one, I would say here, Seth. Both guys know what they gotta do, and there's no hold bars here. At the end of the day, when you're in no man's land, you have a couple options, and I think both these guys will play aggressive and also calculate at the same time, bring it to the party for sure.
Absolutely. It will be interesting to see, how they utilize all the different aspects here of this type of game. Of course, we'll be talking about the power play later on in this one. I think a big thing that we'll be talking about here between these two as well is going to be momentum. Just try to establish a sense of momentum, not only against each other, but also just, I guess, personally with what's been going on with them respectively here in 2025. An 8-9 seed matchup, so just by one numbered seed, Clay's going to get that home field advantage in the first two games. It's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. Clay, coming into this one, home field advantage, though.
I got Cody. I got
Cody.
Cody.
Yeah, Cody? All right, sounds good. So Clay, I mean, it kind of seems like everything to play for here. KT had a great job of putting together the promotional stuff here, setting up this matchup, and he found success early on. I think it was back in 2023, but just kind of been struggling to make your way up there out of the rounds of 16 to get up into the round of 8 or into that final 4. What's it going to take here as we're heading into Jackpot June to be able to maybe get back to that old Clay from 2023?
A mix of luck and paying more attention to card history, I'd say, because that's something I've been lacking. Especially in my more recent matchups, I've been making moves that just help the opponent, unfortunately. So, gotta change that.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people, myself included, still have to kind of adopt into their strategy. Is that card history? It's made available there, but I think some of us old school players, we're not exactly used to having that card history available, and we'll definitely see if that comes into play. What do you got for Cody there, KT?
Well, obviously, it's about a year ago. We were on this whole bot, and you kind of packed your suitcase and checked out. Now it's a little bit different. You're packing your suitcase whatever the hell you want, right? You're a guy that plays pretty damn good when you're at this next level. Clay plays pretty good. You guys both know each other. I guess my question for you is, you've seen every meta in the book, reverse skip, whiplash, everything. You saw that last game with Toasty where it was wild. How do you try to adapt to Clay? Maybe not so much his style, but just the mentality in the sense of, hey, we're at the end of the window here. We're getting late to the year. I have nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Might as well go full send. You bring that little bit of spark, maybe where you don't see it as T1, where you have more time. Talk me through it today. What do you got going on?
Well, I mean, I got my bookshelf of books of what tactic that we're gonna have to get into this game. We'll have to see. Either am I gonna have to be playing defense, offense, both? Who knows with the way these games go? And yeah, it just allows you to play a little more free. But at the end of the day, it's the same, and you just kind of stick with what you know, and you feel out the first couple games and just see where it goes from there. Gonna be fun. We'll see. Hopefully I can use my brain for not defense, which has seemed what I've been doing a lot recently across
Literally.
various leagues.
various leagues. Maybe as a fan last night, man, unfortunately. But we'll see how this one goes. Seth. This should be a good one. It's a good game. I've known these guys for a long time, so this should be a game of. I expect what I expect here. I think we're going to see a lot of ISO, a lot of camouflage looks, and should be a good one. That's all I
Should
got.
indeed. Shout out Nam. He's our referee here for this afternoon's first game of 4 here today. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due because he had this line. I took it from him from his promo material. But we're going to see here in the diamond region today who's going to be the diamond in the rough. So I'm giving you credit, KT. That was your line. I'm not stealing that one from you.
Oh yeah, it's a classic. That's yeah. You got to take the gap right there. Diamond region, diamond in the rough. You might as well. That's an easy one.
Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. Shout out Aladdin. Anyway, let's go down to the table. Let's find out. We're going to kick off this potential best of 7 series with Clay. You've got the call. Open table. What are we looking for?
9.
All right, we'll go 9. And this is what Clay usually does. Seth, more of a mid-tier kind of player. Makes sense here. Should be a good one. Start off with the red. Zach Deuce. Let's get it going.
All right, so with the 9 card start, usually in that middle tier region, we're looking for a little bit of ammo, but we're going to see a lot more of trying to whittle down those numbers. Number efficiency coming into play, one would expect here in the early going. All kind of comes down to who fires the first shot, and saw a little hesitation there with the 9 card start. You kind of take a little bit of a moment, formulate a plan, take a look at the opportunities you've got here, and plan accordingly.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's
light switch immediately though. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We usually with the 9. Sorry to cut you off. They're trying to get the link for Monkey, but there we go.
Whoa.
Undercut and the bow. Yep, triples 2. Oh, back to blue, says Clay.
So trying to establish right out of the gate there the color advantage, and Cody will run with blue here.
Clay running as well. Yeah, it's going to be sometimes the case of who will fade the least, who will fade the most. That's one of those games with 9 cards that can happen. Cody's drawn. And they're Clay drawn. So
wow.
There you go. A little bit of ISO City, and that's what these guys want early. Establish a little bit of Draw City, see what's in there. Check out the old kitty on the tech.
And Clay said, one of the things that he's going to be working on here in this series is not helping the other side. He said that seemed to be something that here in 2025 has kind of come back to bite him. So trying to play his own strategy here and not try to fall into the trap on the other side of the table. Established it back there to blue, which I think was to try to maybe play an ISO on Cody. Obviously, it ices him out as well, but they keep pretty even here as both going to get a top deck.
Top decker, Clay up by a possession, but new color in the green. Let's see where it goes. Just a space bar issue. No worries. It'll be green 6 from Cody in the Vapor.
1 up.
Half off special in the red, and now they're both going to run. Both guys are usually a temper pace as we go ditto. Pretty, not so ridiculously quick, but tempered enough to where you can really find a way. Of course, this is we go to Monkey in the yellow now. An old school match, so should start to crescendo any moment.
The third light switch that we've seen here for Clay in the early going of this first game.
There's a double.
That gets the possession back to Cody by 1 card.
And with Stingray 5 from Clay, let's see what Llamas will have. He talked about trying to play a little bit more offense than the defenses, and he's got nothing there.
We always talk about that one color as Pandora's box. We started on red. We haven't been back since.
That's weird, man. Nobody's got anything here on 2 colors now. No yellow, Seth. Blue's juiced. We were briefly into the green. Clay didn't want it. It's a little bit interesting here, not going to lie.
Yeah, we were in green for 3 cards, and we've yet to be in red since the initial red 2 was played.
Yeah, Clay going to draw. Here comes Cody. Does he switch it over into that Grim 7? He will. Into the red. There you go. Yeah, but very, very, very low ammo so far, so there's not much to really be threading right here. Both guys, we talk about, I think Clay said card history. You really can't look at card history when you hadn't used the color yet, so that's got to really develop. And you see still nothing really massive on it. Nothing at all. We haven't seen a single card with +4s or anything. So we'll see what we got here.
Just a reverse and a skip. That's all we've had so far.
Clay runs it into the red. Here comes Cody. Tops it to the yellow.
Ooh. Oh, answer
Back to red
back.
from Clay. Great play from Clay. I don't think Cody, unless he's got another one. No.
Nope. How
Yeah,
long
great
can
player
Clay
from Clay,
run
Zero
in
Sugar.
red is the question. Can he swap off of the 0, or are we going back into another draw city here? How much red does Clay have? This could be a finish.
Could be, yeah.
Taking a bit of time
Either that
here.
or a check.
Remember,
Either
red
that
was
or
the
a check,
Pandora's
yeah.
box color.
Oh my
there's
god.
the
Yeah,
ammo.
that's,
You
yeah.
wondered where it
Yeah.
was. Just looming under the surface.
Yeah, there's nothing there really Cody could do, I don't think. I mean, most of the game, I think he was playing defense on switches, but they seem to have nothing really going for him. Clay, did you get... Oh, Seth, you got it.
Oh, if you
What
have a
was
question for him, go ahead.
Clay, did you get most of that off the draw city? Because I don't think you really started with much.
Oh no, I drew pretty much all numbers. I was just trying to get number efficiency going.
Okay. So I think that would make sense, because you guys both were able to fade off the... What was it, blue?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's just the blue and the yellow. So it's basically 2-color box, and then Cody went to red. And so Cody, you went to red because you just felt you had to, in the sense that you had nothing to try to spice it up, or lack of ammo right there couldn't do much.
I had, when he switched back to red from my yellow 4, I had a yellow +2, blue +2, blue 8. So he essentially saved that
Oh.
game right there. But I guess it really wouldn't have mattered based off of the ammo he had. Yeah, I really didn't have much besides those few skips and reverses. And then it was just mostly about deciding on when to play the +2s. And I felt like it was too early when I wanted to do it. So I just kind of held them for the end. It almost worked, but in the end, it really didn't matter.
No, and that's it. Go for it, Seth.
I was just going to ask, were those +2s off the draw cities, or did you have at least like one or maybe both of them there at the start?
I held those +2 since the start.
Oh, wow.
And I mostly just kind of got, I didn't really get much off of the draw. Just a couple skips and stuff. I was just really waiting for the link to that chain that I could play the +2s, and it came off of that one draw. And then when he switched back, it was basically the end of it for that.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, Seth, we talk about timing, if you time it too early and you deliver +2s, what's on the other end? And we hadn't seen any red at that point, if you play it that early, as he was saying. So he made the jump to red, try to flush it out, go to red, offset, hope he goes back to yellow. And it almost worked, but at the end of the day, you can try it all you want. You got a double stacker on the wilds +4s with a +2 sandwich. At a certain point, you're just playing the inevitable. So I get where both are coming from. I think it was just good save from Clay. And for Llamas, you got to try to work your way and whittle it down to a certain point. And it was a low ammo game. The blue icer to start the game was intriguing, to say the least, because Clay went from that blue 2 back to the blue 2 when Cody tried the yellow 2, which was interesting, because I was wondering, maybe is there a fade off the red? And ironically, there was, but it was more... Clay, I don't think, had really a red. He didn't have much red at all into the end. So yeah, it was interesting.
I started with both of the red 4s.
That was it?
Yeah. I switched
sense.
off just because I had a way to get back to red at some point. So
makes sense. Right, try to run it down, then use the chant. I got you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talk about timing all the time as well, and I've hit the problem. I know you've hit the problem, KT. Just about everybody in this league has hit the problem where sometimes it's just that one play too early, and then maybe just that one play too late. It's so tough. It's so tough because just like in poker, you don't know what's on the other side of the table. Is my straight flush gonna, my full house gonna get beaten by a straight flush? I don't know. There's that one possibility out there, and with not knowing what's on the other side, you don't know if you're potentially gonna play into somebody else's hand with what you put down, and they're gonna preempt what your strike was going to be. So we talk about timing all the time, and in this case here, it's just a matter of trying to kind of weigh the options, and sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. But Clay takes the early 1-0 lead here. Still got another homestand to try and build off of. Cody gonna try to draw this back 1-1. Clay, 9 off the board. Everything else still open. What are we going for here for game 2?
10.
Going
10
1
cards,
up.
okay.
So still going to continue in that kind of a higher mid-range now.
And another 2 star?
Yeah, we had a red 2 to start the first one, blue 2 to start off this one. Now, if I recall
That's
correctly,
funny.
we swapped to a blue 2 off the red 2. Okay, if we swapped from a red 2 off the blue 2 this time, then that would have been very interesting. But nope, we're going to just run in blue.
All right, here we go. Now 9. Now 9 apiece here as we go to the blue 9 to the blue 7. It's basically where we started game 1. Classic 9 pack. And, well, there's the red. All right, well, Llamas will run it clean.
So I think we kind of already got an idea here, KT, off that first game. These are 2 individuals that try and save that hard-hitting ammo for the end. Cody still had those 2+2s, but we didn't see them. And then obviously that big +4 at the end that got Clay the victory. So not surprised here in the early going of game 2 that we're just going to see numbers, probably a lot of numbers. Maybe a little double play here and there like we saw with a skip in the reverse back in game 1. But I don't think we're going to see those big kill shots until the end again.
Well, that's what you really look when we talked about OG styles. That's pretty much OG. But once again, the bot if the bot's not going to throw much, then it really comes down to a point of if someone's holding all those ammo cards, you could just run it clean to the finish. And right now, that's what it's looking like. Someone's holding all it, and that's just a classic double right there. Nothing really to fret Clay there. It's double and yeah, 3 color. Once again, we're missing a color. There it is. No yellow. We're missing. Remember last game we're missing red. Now we're missing yellow. It's weird. It's weird, man. Sometimes you can just have a 3-color game, and so be it. It's just one of those things. How do you work your way around it?
Cody down to 2 may force some ammo cards here, which indeed
there we go.
does. Little stacked +2 into the blue now. Going to draw Cody back to 8. Clay now with the 2-card advantage. That hurts when you're Cody because you're down to 2 cards, but at the same time you're flushing out that ammunition. So it's kind of a benefit detriment thing.
Well,
just look at that.
Back to the KT Classic, maybe, or is he just going to try to go for ISO?
I think he's going for
As
ISO.
maybe Talago here.
But the answer back with Cody's own card.
One sec, I gotta get Talago. One sec, hold on. Oh no, this might be for you.
See if Cody. Oh, he's got an answer back in yellow.
Well, he'll have to throw the yellows. Yeah, there we go.
There we
Yellow
go.
7. There we
Yep.
go.
And now Cody takes possession back. So the +2's coming out here. Clay will run in yellow. Yellow was the Pandora's box color, if I'm not mistaken, here for this game.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. We'll see what will be here into the yellow 6 now from Clay. Will Cody have back to the into the green wild? Okay.
ISO. Cody,
Another wild.
I think Cody does have green, but at the same time,
+4 from Clay.
Flushes the +4.
Yeah, it's a clear flush, 100%. There's no doubt on that one. And Clay had something set up for the finish with a +4, but that's the risk.
Back to the green again.
That's the risk with the flush using the +4 there, because number efficiency is the problem. At some point, it's just going to be you go back to it, and Cody's one of the best at doing that. And just like that, he takes the lead. So it's an ebb and flow. And Tago apologizes. No, you're good. He woke up well.
And how many times, KT, do we talk about the +2s and the +4s, the risk on the return for the other side?
It's the number one thing now. Always the number one trending thing in this league, the ammo return. It's still one of the biggest metas in the game. And you throw the +4 there, okay, great. But you got to realize at some point the numbers are going to line up where it's just they want that one color. And if you can't execute the numbers right, they can always go back to it. And your opponent right there in Cody's sense did a good job. I get where Clay's coming from. He did a great job with the wild flush. But ultimately, on that regular one with the yellow to green, as they're going to go to Draw City. But you have to know how to use the timing, because there's the yellow.
Maybe a little top deck heaven there for Cody.
Interesting, too, because the +2s are kind of winding down, so that's one thing to keep in mind.
And I believe that yellow was what Clay was trying to get to. Well, stays there only for a brief moment with the double skip into the red now.
Red for Cody now. We'll see what he can do. Clay now tries an end-around play. We'll see what Cody tries to evaluate here, Seth, because looking at this, the red had been just really neutralized. There was no plusers. It was pretty clean, so we'll see what we got here.
Yeah, I'm looking to see. Clay used the +4 to get over to blue. So I kind
Oh,
of feel like
+4 from Llamas into the blue.
Okay, so
Interesting.
I was gonna say I felt like Clay was trying to get to blue, so Clay should have something here,
Oh,
not
okay.
including what he would have gotten on the return for that +4.
Clay doesn't go back to red though. That's interesting. Llamas can keep it on blue. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now you don't. Now you don't know if you want to go to red here, Seth, because what if Cody's got number efficiency? But let's see what it is.
There we
Red 9
go.
from Clay. Does Llamas have for number? Yeah, number.
It does.
Yeah, it's the read.
There
That's
it
classic
is.
Cody.
There it
Double
is.
numbers. Wow. Well, I mean, Cody, I kind of saw that coming, man. I know your game, man. You always love number efficiency. It's one of your classic Cody Llamas moves. But in this case, the wilds right there, that was probably the more interesting, I guess, point. I really like to point out. Did you feel comfortable of throwing those green wilds as almost Captain does this a lot, as flush wilds to force a +4 out? Because that's really what I was seeing there.
Yeah, essentially, I was ready for the hit. I knew it was going to come eventually. And but firstly, let's rewind. I basically started with the poker hand and one wild. Had let me see. I had 3 9s, 2 of them which were greens, 1 were blues, 1 blue 7, 1 green 7. So it was mostly feeling confident about getting down to green, which I was able to do early on. But then he hit me with the +2s, I believe. And those +2s gave me the 2 extra wilds to kind of free me up a little bit. And then it was just a matter of fairly confidently being able to finish on the 9s. I felt like I could do it from the beginning, and it just took a little longer path this time.
One more question I have for you. I apologize with that. I had to deal with the rest situation. But one other thing, we had talked about the last game. We said the red had not been used. It was taking a while to get used. This time it's the yellow. Do you have to adjust to the bind in a sense too with a little weirder whiplash where we're almost 3 color to start the game and you have to work around that? We don't usually see that a lot in one game, let alone 2 games.
Yeah, I agree. I basically had 3 colors, but I don't really even count the one red because it was the only one I had. And sometimes you gotta be ready to have a lot of the same number of colors, and we've noticed that a lot recently, I would assume. But yeah, no, it's just about winding it down and playing the number efficiency, and it ended up working out, and I was able to draw out those wilds.
All right, we'll go a question for Clay from Seth. Appreciate it, Cody.
Yeah, Clay, you get hit by number efficiency here at the end, but I really don't dislike the play there, trying to swap the color over there to red. I was trying to look back here and kind of get a read on your hand. Am I right in thinking that you were also looking to maybe try and finish out in blue, and then when you saw when Cody played that +4 into blue, kind of trying to get over to that color himself, you're thinking, I got to do something different?
Not necessarily. I had 3 5s, blue, red, and a yellow that I was trying to string together. Obviously, that's difficult, but it was my only option because when I had to draw cards, I kept getting them. I was like, okay, cool. And when I switched back to red there, it was actually the only card I could play because I ran out of blue. I couldn't do anything else.
Gotcha. And I heard you say there, KT. I mean, obviously it sounds like poker hands on both sides. So when we talk about number efficiency, that just makes it all the more prevalent. When you got those poker hands, you got to try in some way to whittle out all those similar numbers.
It's the 3rd straight Llama series. Lara, Toaster guy now with Clay. He's had the similar meta. He's probably the number 1 player I've seen get these meta where it's just straight poker hands. And as other players play, it's just either...
I have a comment.
Yeah.
It feels like every game 2, no matter what, it starts with some poker hand. I don't want to say a boring hand, but like nothing crazy. It's just an awful number of poker hand. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm finding something new like usual, but I'll be damned if not every game 2 in any league. It always ends up being like that.
All right, so
Maybe-
make note. Announce Cody has poker hand every game 2 before we even start.
Yeah, you might as well.
Oh my god. I don't know, Thomas. Maybe I'm just cursed. And you're getting it.
Well, I was going to say,
I don't
man,
know.
when
I'm sure something will change.
Cody's playing career's over, he can always be a scientific test dummy. He's always the breaker, man. He always is the icebreaker. He finds new metas. And I don't know. That's just how Cody plays, I guess. But it's part of the game with him. But it's fun though from a commentating perspective. That you just don't know what's going to happen. Right?
No.
When you get those kind of hands, that's what makes Cody's series is great. Clay, I haven't really streamed much, ironically, with him because we've just been on opposite ends or the timing was just off. But now you look at this. It's 1-1. Cody gets at home. We've only been in the mid tier. I'm interested to see what game 3 will be because we've only had a 5-minute series on average time. I think they got enough of a feeler on it compared to, let's say, Non-Captain, which was cracked the other day.
Agreed.
But definitely a more interesting series to start with poker hands and the tricolor to start, missing the 1 in the back pocket. Maybe the ace of spades of the colors, I say.
To your point, I agree. I think the feeling process is done and dusted. 1 win apiece. Cody now gets the homestand here in this breaking the best of 3. Cody, everything but 10 available here. What are we going with?
I'll be that guy, and I say it's Friday the 13th, so let's do a 13.
It is Friday the
Yeah,
13th.
did anybody else forget besides me to leave milk and cookies out for Jason?
What?
Oh boy.
I know that one. Yeah,
I might have
I
forgotten.
know that one.
that's okay. That's
I didn't
okay.
even know that was a thing.
Yeah, but
It
you
is.
and me too, Vapor. Oh well.
No black cats running around right here, right?
I haven't dared look out my window.
All right. Let's keep it
That's
going.
true. We do have a neighbor. We do have a neighborhood black cat.
Oh boy. Well, Cody gets him in reverse. Last night, ironically, Seth, or I guess it was the holy day of yesterday. I don't want to jinx it. We were just getting +4 starts out the wazoo. So
Wow.
I'm glad we're avoiding that. I don't know what was going on yesterday with that. I think someone can vouch for me on that. Who was it? Nam could. I think Nam could. He was kind of crazy. G6, there's Vapor in the flesh as we go to Chomik.
So highest card start we've had so far with 13. A lot of ammunition used up there in that second game. A lot of +2s, number of +4s. So, wow, immediately out on the green, though, is Clay in the early going.
Yeah, and it goes to blue. You wonder what that. Sometimes it could be a steal a draw. Sometimes it can be a momentum shifter. Hard to say. You never know with those early draws on green. Sometimes they can go back to it. So we'll see what happens as Clay runs the yellow.
Swapped it over to blue, now over into the yellow. Trying to maybe
There's
search
Rogers
out
in
a
the
color
front.
that Cody might be iced out on, since Clay already now has kind of showed that he's out on green.
Comes Cody looking to type it out. Just a double. Classic. The 1-2. We talk about that with Jay Caesar a ton. But
Oh,
usually
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the number one guy when it comes to the 1-2 punch as we go into the Costa 9. We'll talk about it as we go back to blue now here, Seth. And Clay had switched over to blue. Let's see. Cody definitely trying to play ISO ball. Let's see if that works.
We'll see if Clay did have blue or if he was just searching. Yeah, he does have blue. So he was just searching for that one color that Cody might have been out of. Little ditto.
Bad Brad Blue Deuce in the flesh in the building as we go into blue again. Recircling. Cody's yellow out. Is that going to be against him, though? Let's find out.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Cody did do the swap off of yellow into blue with the 9.
Oh, but he's come prepared. Wow.
Yes, he did. Had yellow in reserve. Answers back with the double play. +2 into the 2 with no plus in front of it.
Into the 9 now. Let's see if Cody has any more.
I'm getting shades of game 1 here, KT. Red, Pandora's box. We haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, boy. That'd be 3 in a row. Tricolor as we go into a draw city. Smart move there. I think both were just kind of searching as we go toppers. But once again, you're right. It's black and the red, and who's got the red now? And is it numbers? Is it efficiency on reverses? Is it in the deck? Is it still in the pile? We've seen some of those games where we would go 10 minutes without one color being played. Let's not forget, there's been instances of that.
And we didn't see a whole heck of a lot of ammunition played so far here in this game. We got down into that region where if you had maybe a +4 or something, that might be the link you needed to finish. I'm almost wondering if maybe we don't have any +4s in either of these hands just yet, and we're trying to search for something.
Clay now. See if he switches. I'd be very shocked if he switches into that red because I think both guys are hesitant now. That's interesting. Back to blue though. That's a little interesting there, Seth. Not gonna lie. So once again, it's 2-color box from Cody, and everyone's avoiding red. So.
Everyone's avoiding red. I would say that with this draw city, that we now eliminate Clay being out of green. I would assume he would have gotten a few
No,
there.
Cody will make that. There we go. We'll go
Okay.
into that red.
So Pandora's box is open, and there's the answer. Yep, Clay definitely did get some green on that draw city. Little trips 3 color swap there from the blue to the red to the green.
Green pretty unused though still for the most part. So it's either someone hoarding it or that is definitely in the pile. We'll find out. Cody might have someone or have something here on the green on the switch. Does a double. There we go. But that might be still good for Clay because you got to think here now, Seth. Double play right there. It might be low, and maybe that red crossover maybe undercut Cody right there, prevent a potential finish. So we'll see.
Good point. Plays it cool though.
See what Cody will have. On 9's being used too. Saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, we saw the trips 9 there to close out game 2.
Comes Cody looking for maybe. Is this going to be a finish? Oh, yeah. Double.
Oh,
wow.
There's the +4s.
But once again, Seth, not much red. That is
No, not
bizarre.
at all.
I don't think Clay did even play red?
No.
Wow. So you had none to start, or just we're waiting for
No,
it?
I did. He just stopped my run to the finish. Actually.
On the red?
No, I was about to win.
What? From 10 back?
Yeah.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Whoa,
Huh?
you gotta explain how that what?
Yeah, I was really, really hoping you didn't have any power cards there, but I have
You
a
gotta
bunch
send me
of
that. That's insane.
I have a bunch of skips or reverses +2s. Yeah. It was very close.
I gotta see that one. That is insane. Cody, you just weaseled that one. What is this? Cody weaseling?
About
I mean,
time.
it's a
Yeah,
battle of
it
animals,
wasn't
so if you don't throw a
like-
weasel in there, why not?
Might as well.
I was considering doing power play there.
Oh no, I would have not power played there. If you had
No.
a 10-card run, that would have been silly. Honest to God.
No. It was close. It was close.
Yeah, I gotta
I
see.
needed one more. I
Oh.
just needed one more turn. Not gonna lie.
Oh, that is already a nom strat and a half I've ever seen one. Just wait for that. Yeah, build up. I got you. That changes my questions now. I 10 cards from 10 deep.
Yeah, no, not quite. I was very, very fucking close. Just look at this.
Oh my! Well,
Wow.
let me see. So
I was
that
literally-
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was close.
Oh no, that wouldn't have been from 10 deep because
No. I that's why I'm like, no, it wasn't. I was just so close.
if you play the green 0, yeah, you have to get rid of the green 0. I think you have to get rid of the 0. Then even if you try to power play, it's a waste because no.
Yeah, no. I wasn't going to do it there.
Interesting. You know, I mean, I get where you're coming from though here, Clay, because yeah, you could have
No,
done a
that's
double.
exactly what I was. Yeah.
Yeah, you either. Well, you know why I say 0 though, because 0 is so it's very hard to switch off a 0 at that point.
No, I know.
So
I know.
I think either way would have been safe. But yeah, I get where you're coming from because before I ask Cody the question, we had just said we're not going to see those fire punches right away. That's a perfect example. I mean, that means every single +4 was distributed to both these guys.
I was just gonna say I said
And
not
that
too long ago,
+2
like I don't think a
too.
single +4 is in any of these guys' hands, and each one of them had 2. So shows how much I knew.
But yeah, I was going to say that Y+2 was in the way. I'm not sure how you get out that connector.
I was going to do wild +4 into the Y+2 into wild +4. After doing the green skip to green 0 and going to because I knew he would have red at some point, so I wasn't super concerned about that.
Yeah, it was. That's a weird. Cody, once again, man, we're seeing weird things with your games because I've never seen something like this.
I drew most of this. I didn't start with most of this.
Yeah, no, I figured it's Draw City. It has to be. I mean, the only question I have for you, Cody, is you picked up those pocket +4s, but did you have it off the start, or is that a case where you just really saved the game? I think, honest to God, that Yellow Wild saved the game. That you saved that +2, ultimately may have given Clay just enough cards where he couldn't find the connector. Talk me through it because I've never seen something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I started with 1+4, and then I was like, and I got it actually, I believe, fairly late. Probably one of the later draws I had when I got the other one. And I could have maybe finished a little earlier as well. But I decided, because I only had 2 red cards off the start, so you guys were right there. There was barely any reds. The 3 and the 8 were my only reds. But I felt pretty good with the number efficiency going through the 2s. Once it K'd out, it was just a matter of just, playing the ammo smartly, building the lead, keeping it within reach. But apparently you're never out of reach, because if he had a finish like that almost, it doesn't really matter with this bot. You could have the longest arm imaginable and still somehow find a win, apparently.
It really is the longest
right
yard.
here.
Close to it.
I called red as the Pandora's box color, and as Cody alluded to, I looked back, the only 2 reds that were played in terms of number cards were the 3 and the 8 that he had, and you saw there with Clay's hand, red skip, red 7, red 1. So only 5 red cards were distributed between 2 hands or in this course of this game.
Yeah, I'm very shocked that we had this meta of 3. It's just tricolor. We're basically saying 3 of a kind of a color. Drop the 1 on the back for the ace of spades. It's kind of in the casino where we're just waiting.
I would have benefited from a bigger red distribution there.
Yeah,
That was Friday the 13th game right there.
Yeah, if I ever seen one, that's
Jason
it.
was at the door. He was at the door.
Jesus.
Oh boy. Well, we do have Grim Reaper in the server, so But regardless, Seth, we're seeing some crazy voodoo here. I'm not sure I've ever seen a game like that where both the +4s were distributed. We also had a lack of tricolor with 1 color behind, and yet Clay somehow, I'd say 2 turns away. I can't say the next turn, but 2 turns away from having the ultimate chain. Unbelievable.
Yeah, incredible. I couldn't believe when he said I was close to having a run. It's like, wait, what? From that far back? I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen 8 and 9 baggers before, but I mean, yeah.
I just need to be a little bit more lucky.
Yeah, it probably would have been from 8 back. I think. I mean, he could have.
Yes.
If he really wanted to be really crazy with it, he could have. I don't know if this is what you do. You maybe use one of those green skip, blue skip, red skip, and then maybe just try to go off kilter on the red. But even then, that's the next level move. You try that. Then you're opening up red more, and what if Cody's got the red? That's the problem. In this game, if you try to go to a color we haven't seen, what if the opponent has it and the deck doesn't? And that's
that I didn't want to do that and open up red because I thought he had more, which actually ended up hurting me. So, Yeah,
weird one for sure.
Definitely a weird one. I mean, Friday the 13th could be Freaky Friday. Who knows? Who knows what it is right now? But what we got is a great series going on here. Cody now up 2-1. Has another homestand here now as he'll look to take a 3-1 advantage. Cody, no 10, no 13. What are we going here for game 4?
Let's keep it crazy with some 8s.
Crazy 8s, okay.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's Friday the 13th. Anything goes, right?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Oh my gosh.
Well, okay.
Man.
It's just like game 1 and game 2. It's a 2. Ignore the plus in front of it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Bot has been just uber consistent on the starts. It's weird. 2s. I think Chamek 8 was one of the first cards played the last game.
I think it was too. I think you're correct.
Oh my god. And there's the switch in the Camaro. Freaky Friday. I think that's gonna be the turn. But we'll go into yellow now. So once again, still 2 colors. Still waiting for those next reads in the colors. Cody draws. And Clay, well, okay, here we go again.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, once again, we talk about this all the time with these 2 guys. They could be saving, and they could be having some and just trying to build it, or are they trying to run the mill. I don't know. I'm not sure what the answer is here on either player. It's interesting to say the least, Seth, because you think right there early on an 8. Sometimes it can go to a draw city early, but especially off an initial switch, you think they both would have it. So I'm interested in what they got going on here.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't have any, if they legit don't have any yellow right now, maybe they have skips or reverses or something like that. But let's say that they don't. We'd be right back into the same thing we've been talking about here in these first 3 games with the 3-color hands. Only 1 yellow played before we immediately go into the draw city here on both sides.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Let's see if someone cracks it open right here. Maybe not crack it open, just takes a little wink. Goes Cody. Okay, he does. There's a G +2. So that will give him the lead now up by 4. And Clay's still nothing there, Seth. That's
interesting.
Does Cody have the invitation? Yellow nut. Okay. So Cody's saving a little bit of yellow. Interesting.
Yeah. You would okay.
And
So
gives
there's.
Clay. Okay.
I was gonna say there's the open. I was surprised that we didn't see a potential light switch off the 5, but maybe Clay just didn't have a 5 to do it.
Cody will play cool with the red deuce. Beat from Clay. He'll play cool. And now you got to think, Seth, they drew so much. Who knows what they have?
Exactly.
At this
I'm
rate,
not
you
gonna
just
make
don't
any
know.
predictions this time because I was really wrong with the +4s back in the last game.
Cody with another classic Caesar. Now it's just Cody is playing the Caesar style. This is Jay Caesar to the T. It's just straight 1-2 punches.
Just trying to
Wish
continue
Caesar
to
the best.
establish that advantage, and now forced into the draw. Interesting.
Yeah, he's into the draw. So it's 2 things. Either there's just lack of ammo on both sides or just waiting for that right draw pack. Let's see. It might be right here. Yeah, I was going to say, at a certain point, you can't switch it off to 0, so you go to the 1.
So that makes sense of him playing the +2 there for Cody then, because he realized he was more than likely going to have to draw if we stayed in red, so he wanted to play that +2 to open up a little bit of a gap here back to Clay when he eventually was going to have to start drawing cards. As we're now over into green, I believe this is first time since the start.
Yeah, we were there that +2 early. Yep.
Yeah, we had
just
that.
Blue is the third tricolor, so that was the. Right. I don't know. Green might be neutralizer. I usually think this is a neutralizer color right now, considering we used all 3 colors. As Cody goes for a double, so we'll see. When was the goalie reversed earlier? We had saw in that last game to start the game. So if the greens are starting to work off, we used the +2 off the bot. And sometimes it helps when you have that +2 off the bot. That's 1 less +2 in the deck, so
correct.
You can feel a little more confident in this color compared to, let's say, when it's double +2 wide door open. Here comes Cody. He'll go double up the cap. And Clay goes back to gun for a classic Diself Ditto. Okay. Llamas have right here. Loading up, taking his time.
I don't know if we kind of look at how these two have played here these first 3 games. There it is. I was gonna say
+4, and he goes for a triple. Yeah.
They seem to like to hoard those +4s if they've got them.
Yeah, that's just thing. No. With Cody, he's so good at number efficiency at the end. You wonder at this point if you try to hoard one of those colors and you try to go back to another color, he can just go right off the 1 or something. So we'll see what Clay does here.
Yeah, it's Clay's hand forced here. Oh, little trip skip quad
green.
play into the green.
Let's see what Cody has here. Did he save the green? Let's see. It's definitely a neutralizer from Clay. Try to neutralize it.
Yeah, Cody was off the green skip. Might have been his last green. Let's see. Does he have maybe another
So unless it's split ammo. Yeah, it could be split. We've seen split ammo, Chomik style, also come in the past. Here he comes. Power play. That's game.
Yep.
100%. This is this is vintage Llamas. He always does this.
It's gonna be a wild +4 into the color he needs. I think he's probably got 2 cards left in said color.
That's
the power
it. Yeah.
play to link it. There it is. Yep.
Yeah, good play because at a certain point, if you don't do it right there, what if you start getting more +2s the other way? I think that's a good move.
Exactly. He played so many +2s. He played that +4. We saw the trip skip there, but I almost wonder if Clay, and I'm going to ask him this here, Clay, did you have anything else to draw Cody back there? Maybe a +4 of your own, +2s? You did have the green +2?
That's why that's why I went back to green.
That's why.
I
Okay,
figured,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I think that's a good power play, Cody. I really look at this. This was a game of really biding your time. Do you think you kind of got a break, though? Maybe on the yellow with him drawing back, too? You didn't have many yellow. It was a tricolor game. Once again, you needed a little lady luck on Draw City because it's been interesting. It's either we don't have the color right away or we're going for some type of early Draw City to spark it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really. I mean, I had the 1 green 8
Okay.
to start. Then I had the yellow +2s and the reds +2s. Then I was like, it's about just when you want to play it, right? I didn't want to hit the +2s again too early because I didn't feel like it was not the time to do that. And then at that point, I only had a yellow 9, and it just felt safe to go with the draw. Luckily, that draw kind of worked out. I had the +4 since the start again, and then I believe I got the believe I got it a little later, the other one, which kind of helped. But it's like one of those things where if you get too much of a good thing, you don't want to do it too early. You want to see if you can do it at the right time. And yeah. And as for the power play, yeah, you just can't do that. Especially with I looked and he had 11 cards. I was like, yeah, I have to do it. There's just no way. That's not an option. Because you know you're going to get hit by something the way this series is going.
Yeah, and that's the problem. We really hadn't seen Seth the blue +2. I don't think. I think they were both out there.
I
Yeah,
think
we
you're
had never
correct.
been in the blue.
Yep.
So you think about it, if you're Cody, you don't play it there, and he hits you with a double +2 hitter, then you're going to be kicking yourself. I had it right, and then the +4. Now the only good thing is at that point the +4s were juiced. Right, there's not many left, but still, you got to be safe than sorry. I get the move a Hondo, and you move forward. I think that's the best you could really do.
I also get it
in
as
that
well
situation.
because you kind of look at what Cody had left, and he could have relied on some number efficiency there with the Ditto blue 5s, but you kind of go back to what he was able to do in Game 2. It was an entirely different situation. Clay didn't have nearly as many cards on the other side as he did here at the close of this game, so you just can't run that risk that he's going to maybe be able to find his way back over to green as he was trying to do there to get to that +2, or even get it over to a different color that would have taken Cody and iced him out with that last blue card. So I love the power play there, not taking the risk that all those cards on the returns with the +2s or the +4s could come back to bite him late.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's been weird because Cody's won these games more on this mid tier, except that 113. So I'm interested to see what Clay will do here.
Yeah.
Clay, your call, man. Game 5. Do or die. What do we got here? No 9. Everything else is free.
12.
12. Yeah, you got to go upper tier. Say I agree with the 12 pack because you don't want to stupidly risk it on 5. You don't want to go something silly on 6, and then the series is over. So I think that's a fair number.
And it's interesting, too, because you look at the series 3-1, you would think, well, the ammo is awfully lopsided, isn't it? No, the ammo's actually been pretty evenly distributed between these two.
The ammo's been distributed pretty evenly. It's the problem is it's just this weird meta of tricolor. We're getting this weird tricolor system where we don't see that ever, and because we don't see that, as we got Ditto Retro, was it Ditto Retro? Yeah, really, I'll call off the pot over there. Because we don't see that normally, it takes us time to get used to as a commentator. Is once again, here's that poker stuff because Llamas self dittos and Clay's juiced.
So Cody up 3-1, no power play to call back on. Clay does have his power play available. Ideally, if you're Clay, you'd love to be able to just win this 5th game outright, have the power play available to try and draw the series back even. But hey, if you're put in a situation here where you know that you're able to close out a game and get it closer at 3-2, we'll see if he maybe calls on his power play here. Is Cody gonna break Clay open?
His own card, yeah. His own
and
card,
himself, yeah.
Okay, using his own card for himself. That's the way you're supposed to do it in the game. But then again, very hard to really do that if you have a number of cards, pretty hard. But if you have an action card, it's easier.
Yeah,
of course.
Bit of an offense there on Cody, which he's able to do, having the 3-1 advantage. A lot of times, people will be wanting to just continue into that draw city and not be the initial one to break it open for everybody here. Save that ammunition card, if you will.
See what Cody will do on the yellow draw. That's interesting.
Ooh, now
Draws
he's
out.
iced out on yellow after he made the initial swap over to that color. Clay's gonna bail him out though.
Interesting. It's a battle of who wants to bail each other out right now. It's weird. Let's see what Cody will do here. Into the red. +2. That's the Caesar 1-2. Yeah.
So
So he's got the lead back.
I think both now have in the back of their mind that if we're trying to go to an ISO color, I think they're both iced out on yellow at this point.
Yeah, that's the ISO. But,
And-
now the
Well, they were
question
both iced out on
becomes here.
blue too. So wait, hold on. We're two-color hand again on both sides.
Yeah, this is a little weird, Seth. Not gonna lie, it's Friday the 13th for a reason. But yeah, we're seeing this ridiculous meta as Clay goes for that double DJ. A lot of poker numbers. We're all over the board in this game. Well, at least this series, it's been all over for real. Let's see what Cody will have here.
So now it's a matter of how long can you run in red before eventually going over to green. I'm assuming based on what we're seeing here, those are the two colors that these guys are working with right now.
So you got ridiculous chain.
Whoops. Hold
red-
on, I got it.
Yeah.
So +2 red reverse, green reverse into the green 2 looks like it's what it's going to be. Quad play.
Yeah, that's not a finisher, so that's good.
Nope.
So that, but interesting, green. Wait, we never saw green.
We haven't been here yet. No, this is the first time.
So that's another thing. We haven't been here, so it's the tricolor again. Wait for the last +4.
Yep.
So
Good
Cody
answer.
maybe just thinking flush it out, right? Flush it out now. See what we can do. And we're back to where we just started. 5 to 8 if he can play. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, we're back to him. Cody doesn't have yellow, and Clay goes for yellow. So that's interesting.
So that answers that question. I was kind of wondering when Cody got it over there to green to the 2 if he had maybe a contingency plan with number efficiency, but with no swap off the yellow 2, obviously did not have a 2 in his hand, even with the return on the +4.
Yeah, 1 +4 gone already, so 3 to go on the deck. Here comes Llamas. So he throws right here.
Cody iced
Take
out
his
on
time.
yellow. Clay was also iced out on yellow, but he might have gotten that yellow 1 on the +2 Cody hit him with. Let's see if he swaps off of yellow here, or if he has yellow still in reserve off that +2, or are we iced out once again on both sides?
Let's see what Llamas will throw here.
Seems like he's typing a lot, so.
Let's see.
Did he maybe get a +4 off of the +4 he was hit with? Let's see.
Oh, back to green. Interesting.
He does get it back to green, utilizing the wild.
Got
Flushes
a
out
plus
some
there.
ammo there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's another wild gone. So that's 3 regulars gone. See what Clay will have.
One would have to assume. Okay,
Wow,
well,
there's
never
a
mind.
+2.
Yep, there's the answer back. I was gonna say one would have to assume Cody probably would only have 3 number cards left and be trying to run in green as long as he could. Now, gonna have a little bit more than that with the stacked +2s.
Triple, yeah, the double trips play. So that's a 6-bagger. So into red now. We'll see what Cody will have here. Last time I remember this was a G6, but no G6 there. Clay draws, so Clay uses the house. Okay.
Yep. Interesting, because he initiated
fine.
it over to
Start well.
red, got rid of his last red there. Now iced out.
Yep.
Cody runs.
Ditto red 1. Yep, ditto red. And Cody drawn out. So yeah, there you go. So after all that huffle kerfuffle, we go to the draw city. Seth,
We've
how
been
about that?
iced on blue, we've been iced on yellow, now we're iced on red.
Tricolor icing. What's going on?
Yeah.
Is it a step back 3's in the building? So
I think everybody's trying. Everybody and their grandmother's trying to get to the green. There we go.
there we go. Double up. Here comes Cody. Let's see what he had in that green. 0 sugar. Okay. And you wonder, if he had a green wild, you wonder if that was the finish. Maybe just a 0-8.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that wild was indeed not off of an ammo card, yeah, that's a good point.
It makes sense too because it's hard to even if you don't have the power play because you go for a triple play, the zeros are hard to switch off of as he goes to yellow.
So this is interesting because I was kind of wondering. I felt we were going to run in green for quite a bit on both sides, but with the +2s and the +4s we had, obviously some more colors going to come into play there, and what was going to be that outlying color, obviously in the case here for Cody, looks like it was yellow.
Cody throws the yellow gauntlet. Let's see what Clay's got. He throws the +2 hammer and put the +4 hammer. Okay,
Brings
another
it back to
+4
blue.
used. So once again, it's Cody's trying to basically play defense and flush this out. Well, Clay has no choice but to use the offensive plays. It's definitely cat and mouse for sure. This game, a lot more cat and mouse.
Kind of almost
See what
anything
Cody's
you can
got
do,
here.
I could do better.
Well, now the question is the ammo return. 4 cards is in the red, so back to red. Excuse me.
We were iced out in this before, but no, Clay's got an answer back to bring it to blue. Good number of fish
Cody's
there.
got here. Does Cody have anything else in his blue answer? Let's see. Clay at 2. Here comes Cody. Close game. Both guys have really been throwing the gauntlets at each other. See what Cody will have right here. Throwing a heat. Let's see.
So obviously got something. Trying to find a wraparound, maybe back to red again.
Maybe either that or just the +4s there. Not one up this time.
Clay to get to check.
No.
Out.
Here comes Cody for 4. He's got it. And he dittos the numbers.
Nice. The number efficiencies, but really good with these two to try and keep the ISO play going. And now Cody's out.
It's Fruit Ninja, man. These guys, every time I always watch JT5 there, the topper. It's always Fruit Ninja. You just don't want to go to that next color progression. And I think because of the 3-color game we've been seeing, it's just so hard to make the breaks and the reads today. You want to almost just stay here and get a top decker and stay comfortable and let the opponent make the read for you. It's crazy.
Oh, they both talked about it. Beginning of this series, timing. Timing's everything. And you don't necessarily want to break it open one turn too early for the other side.
Here comes Cody. Let's see. He draws. Yeah, they don't want to make the break right now. They don't want to make the break for each other, and you just want to stay in this blue as long as possible and someone else make it for you. But Cody says, "Not so fast. I'm going to do it for myself." Okay. Oh well, Clay doesn't agree. Okay. See if Cody can remember. Now I don't know because they both
No,
needed
that's the thing, right?
colors.
We've lost the read. We've lost the read on both sides.
That's usually how these games go too. With these 8-9 matches, you lose the read on both sides. They're just very competitive. Cody for 4, looking for possession. Let's see. Let's see what he's got. Taking his time here. Haven't seen anything crazy. Back to yellow. I was just going to say. Oh, but Clay back to green.
Wow.
Cody have another yellow. Oh, in the red.
Into the red. Look at this.
Is that the slots? Is that the slots? No, it's quads.
We're out on blue. I think right now we're searching to see if one
it's
side
back
or the
to
other
yellow.
are two
What is
color.
going on?
We're searching. We're searching right now. We're looking for another ISO color. We already know blue. We're looking for another ISO color. Try and figure out what color we can establish the dominance in.
Does he go for it right here? Let's see. +4. It's over.
That's it.
Wow.
That is it. That's what they were drawing for. They were looking for the kill shot card. Cody found it with the +4.
And Seth, what a read by both, because what a play by Clay. Go to the green 7, he's flushed out.
That's right.
Cody with the number efficiency to go back to red. Clay runs it, and then Cody works his way back around to yellow. It's like a wraparound goal right there, Cody. You know that one from hockey, man. But Cody, talk to me through this game, because I think my read was on point. You were new at some point. Maybe the +4's on the other side. What if I try to flush it? And you did a great job flushing every single time Clay's metrics, because ultimately that's what won you the game in the series.
Yeah, I felt like, again, pretty confident that I was able to just go on the attack. I said I wanted to play some offensively, and I went on the attack. I sat on my first wild for a long time. It was just a regular wild, and then I used it in that chain to finish in green. I had 2 number efficiency cards to finish, so that didn't work out there. Then I was able to get a +4 off the draw, but I really had no link in the chain to play that +4 at all, besides the green and a couple skips. And then we went to that draw city, and I was able to just kind of weasel it out to yellow a little bit. I was fairly confident on the yellows. And then I made a sweaty, like I was a nervous decision when I played the blue threes. I was like, do I play it defensively, just hit him with the +4 now and go from there? But there was no link in the chain from those yellows and blues and reds. So I played it with the blue threes, excuse me, and then I was able to hold that wild in my pocket until the end.
We'll get back to you in a sec. Clay, I want to go to you, man. Obviously, the number efficiency was the one thing we had talked about this series. Do you think because the series was just really weird, it was tricolor, you had now 5 straight games of just weird 3 colors were only being used, you weren't used to that meta, and what I was saying, and Seth was saying, you just weren't confident to make the break, and you almost wanted the other player to make the move first, and when he made the move, you almost had to play defense right away instead of getting to that offensive mentality, because you did get the +4s that game, but the problem is I think coach just flushed you to where you had to play it on defense because you were behind the series ultimately.
I was not in control at all at any point in that match. In fact, I couldn't switch off even if I wanted to at any point. So, I used the +4s where I had to and couldn't really do anything else.
Right, yeah, and it makes sense, right? So it's a certain point where if you don't have color control, you're not going to win the game, right? And we talk about it with this bot, especially against Llamas, who is one of the good players when it comes to playing poker hands, because it seems every time Cody plays on a table, he's going to have pocket 5s. He's going to have 4 5s. He's going to have 4 7s. It's very rare. We talk about this a lot with, who's the player? Ed. Ed with the light switching, goes crazy. Yepes sometimes in the long drawn out games. Acosta's another one, rare one-offs. Dark we talk about. Cody almost has that knack of, he always has these weird new meta games where he opens it up for every player. And now we're all going to see this. Oh, wow. Now we got to watch the 3 tricolor meta.
Yeah.
So it's a learning experience from us as a spectator and a commentary, but also as a player. Now I've got to be aware, hey, this 3-color poker meta really exists, especially in Jackpot June. How do I adapt? So, yeah, it's tough for Clay, but for Llamas, I mean, you're going to play another second straight animal and monkey. You guys have been around the block. Your thoughts on playing him? He's a 1 seed, but coming in, you got to think, hey, I just got my second win of the season, a little momentum. Got nothing to lose still.
I can't really be saying I'm familiar with Monkey's carrots ways, but yeah, no, just going to these games, it's the same mindset, really, right? You just don't really think it matters on the opponent. It's just about playing what you're given at the end of the day, and we've seen that with a lot of people in general. Just don't think you really can plan for things these days. Just kind of have to go in there and go with the flow. Especially like the minimum is at least 2 games. You feel them out, and you go from there. Because then usually you can get a good read on how it plays out. But nevertheless, it should be fun. It's always fun. We'll see if I get out of the round 2 round bracket now. Maybe my game 7 curse is over, and now I'm on to like a round 2 curse or something. We'll see.
Well, Seth, it's kind of funny. Cody Llamas, when he swept Larry Hill, we were up on a streak where every game went 6 or more. This time, Cody Llamas breaks the streak where every game it wins 6, where this only goes 5. So, yes, he must be the Grim Reaper now.
I guess so.
He's turned into the Reaper. But, no, all joking aside, for Clay, it's tough, but the only good thing, at least he can hold his head high, is he still has a chance. We know Clay is one of the more prominent figures. We talk about T5 Merchant when the pressure's on. I know him personally. When pressure's on, that's Clay. We know Tago hit it last year. Allen was there. I think these guys in T5, when they have nothing, 1 life, right? That's all you got. 1 last life, 1 shot, 1 opportunity. I know that's when Clay usually puts his best performance forward. So we'll see. For Cody against Monkey, they haven't played ever, despite them being here for a long time. Don't know what to expect. That's, like you said, Monkey could be a very interesting opponent because he's the number 1 player in the league right now, which is crazy to say. And he might say, you know what, well, 1 more win matters. But at the same time, he's on Bye Island. He's going to have to readjust and relearn the ropes, just like how it is on Bye. You have to learn how to come off the rust into the flesh. So I'm interested to see what will happen that round. Good series overall. Congrats to Llamas.
Absolutely. Cody going to be moving on here to face off against Monkey, of course, as well as we're looking at the bracket. You got Vapor and Jenna. Winner of that's going to face off against Hasim as we continue on the Diamond region. And just going back to your point there as well, this is T4. We still got T5 coming up, so keep an eye there on Clay when we eventually end up getting to that final tournament here of 2025. But Cody, for the second straight tournament, is going to break out of the round of 64 and move on to the round of 32. Congratulations to him on that. Here's a look once again at what's coming up here later today as all 4 suits regions are in action. We just finished up the Diamond region, Spades region at 4:30 with myself and Hockey, Hearts region at 7 tonight with William Brock and Retro, and then the Clubs region with Abion and M at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all for tuning in here today. We congratulate Cody Llamas. He's moving on here in the Diamond region for Jackpot June. Thanks for Nam, our referee. KT joining me here on commentary. We'll see you guys later on this afternoon at 4:30 as we continue on T4 Jackpot June here in Division 1 of the 2025 MRE UNO tournament.
This has been a presentation of MRE UNO Division 1.